Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jensen Park for this National Premier League Women's New South Wales preliminary final between Northern Tigers and Sydney Olympic. Last chance for both sides to qualify for next week's grand final at Valentine Sports Park, who will be the side to take on Sydney University, as we look at both sides make their way out onto centre pitch today. Will Gotts is calling all the action for you downtown Sefton today. Let's look at both sides' lineups. Firstly, Northern Tigers in goals, Eliza Campbell. A back four of Josie Wilson, Ellie Brush, Servet Unzela, and captain Isabella Folletta. Midfield three of Malia Steinmetz, Maddie Bart and Emma Watkins. And a front three of Amy Phillips, Daisy Arrowsmith, Hannah McNulty. And the bench today for Northern Tigers, Danielle Bartels, Beth Bernardi, Sophie de Montemis, Saba Murray, Emma Smith. Of course, Northern Tigers is coached by Jason Eager. We just pause for a minute's silence. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try and find out what that moment's silence was for. Pass that on to you through the call today. And today's visiting side, Sydney Olympic in goals, Jada Wyman. Back four, Emily Koss, Angie Christodoulou, Kate Halaska, and Jess Frampton. Midfield three of Mackenzie Hawkesby, Paniota Petrados, and captain today, Teresa Polias. And up front, Georgia Plessis, Susan Fongsong-Cam, and Sarah Adam. The substitute today for Sydney Olympic, Danielle Calvi, Chiara Domizio, Lauren Johnson, Amy Orfanidis, and Sienna Fraser. Sydney Olympic is coached by George Beltsos, as we just see both captains make their way for the coin toss. Of course, these two sides met in week one of the finals. It was a victory to Northern Tigers by 1-0. Not much has separated both sides this year. In round 10, Northern Tigers got home by 2-0. In round 21, it was Sydney Olympic's turn to reverse the result, winning 1-0. A big game in prospect today with both sides. Of course, Northern Tigers very well disciplined, great defensively. Sydney Olympic can score plenty of goals from all over the park. Both sides know each other so well. Alex Epakis' women at home today watching this contest, waiting to see who they will verse next week in the big dance at Valentine Sports Park. It's quite a windy day here at Jensen Park. There's a good crowd in to cheer on both sides. It will be Olympic in their blue, running from left to right. Northern Tigers on your screen, right to left, in their white and green stripes. Kicking off today will be Paniota Petrados in the centre circle there, as we wait for the whistle to be blown here. As the referee just checks with both linespersons. And we're underway here at Jensen Park. Olympic with the ball first. Jess Frampton with her first touch of the day. Sari Adam down the line. Northern Tigers just conceding there. The first throw of the afternoon by Josie Wilson there. Will be Jess Frampton with the throw for Olympic down the line. Adam there with some good pressure. And Olympic once again with another throw. Will Gotts is calling all the action for you today. My first opportunity to call a women's game this season. Really looking forward to this one. Again, Olympic to get the ball inside the 18-yard box. Cleared away by the Tigers. Only as far as Hawkesby it was. And Northern Tigers now look to turn defence into attack through Hannah McNulty. Emily Koss on the far side concedes the throw. Both sides just feeling each other out in this first couple of minutes of the contest. And Olympic looks to get the ball out wide. Amy Phillips just can't keep the ball in there for Tigers. Frampton down the line once again. Nice turn there by Paniota Petrados. She shifts the ball to the left. Overlapping on the left-hand side is Emily Koss for Olympic. Gets the ball inside the box. Just can't measure a cross in. Good opportunity there for Sydney Olympic. Their first real chance of the game going to the Blues. It will be Eliza Campbell with first touch of the game. Into a strong wind. Holds up there nicely for Olympic. And it's Petrados now inside the 18-yard box. Referee doesn't see any advantage there, so pulls it back for the infringement. And great opportunity now for Sydney Olympic in this set piece. Will be their captain, Teresa Polias. The win at her tail. May well fancy her self from this distance as she steps up. Has a shot, looking for the top corner there. And Campbell does well, straight at her. Take a greater effort than that to beat the Matilda goalkeeper in Eliza Campbell. Wyman with the first touch of the day. Almost getting caught out there, Jada Wyman. And here, Olympic coach Beltsos is telling Jada a little bit more urgency there at the back. Almost catching them out, the Tigers there. Wyman with the goal kick up towards the halfway. Polias with a flick on. Ball still down on the ground, in behind now. And it's Phillips for Northern Tigers, can get across in. A good block there. And the clearance up towards Susan Fongston-Cam. She holds it up nicely, looking for some support. The header there by Petrados. Looking for Yadam. Just couldn't find her. Frampton there gets there first for Sydney Olympic. Fongston-Cam. So Krista Dulu playing it tight there. Olympic turning it over in the centre of the park. And it's McNulty now. Just a little too much depth on that pass there for Hannah McNulty. To the safe hands of Wyman. Up over the halfway line now. Folletta out wide for McNulty. Tigers possession football at the moment. Unzala gets caught out there, and it's Olympic now who can break. Free kick picked up there. Play on now for Olympic, and on the right hand side is Seri Adam. She can cut inside. Seri Adam, face ball across, but straight to Campbell. Just needed to angle it back a little bit more into the path of Paniota Petrados there. Wasn't to be this time for Sydney Olympic. Daisy Arrow-Smith now. Up towards the 18-yard box. Arrow-Smith doesn't have any support, looks to go alone, cuts inside. Wyman there to cut it off. Over the line it goes. It will be a goal kick to Sydney Olympic. Almost 6 minutes gone here at Jensen Park, and Sydney Olympic and Northern Tigers in this National Premier League's Women's New South Wales preliminary final. Still 0-0. Of course, Olympic, one of the success stories this season, coming up from NPL 2 last year. Pushed Sydney University the majority of the way this year. It's a wonderful talent for the Blues, as well as the Tigers. It's Watkins there. Frampton gets there first with the header. Strong, forceful header from Jess Frampton. Finding Yadam. Still going. Nice switch of play there for Plessis. Holds it up nicely. Georgia Plessis back inside for Polias. Twisting and turning, looking to create some space. Overlapping on the right-hand side, Jess Frampton for Sydney Olympic. He's held up momentarily. Foul in the back there on Yadam. No, says the referee. Will be an Olympic throw. Frampton with the throw for Yadam. Can keep it in. No, she can't. Of course, the first goal will be important today. All three contests this season have been tight ones. So much at stake, a place in next week's grand final. There will be new champions in 2019. Of course, last year, MacArthur Rams in that memorable clash, defeating Sydney University by 4-3. Uni coming back that day from a 3-goal deficit. Who will be the champions in 2019? Olympic now. Petrados. Just put some pressure there on Brush. Ellie just lets it go out for a throw. Wilson. Yes, deflection she needed. Off Siri Adam. Throw down the line. Frampton once again strong. Wins the throw. Olympic look to take it quickly. Petrados. Over it goes. Rush just plays it out. Olympic once again looking to maintain pressure in this top third. Frampton, nice ball in, far post ball. Great ball in it was. Plessis still with an opportunity to do something with it for Sydney Olympic. Great turn, ball inside the box. Looking for Yedem. The clearance away. Hong Song Kam gets a foot onto it. Polias does well once again. This right-hand side is working well for Olympic early on. Frampton looking for some support. Finds it in Hawkesby. Polias. Petrados lays it off for Frampton. And good football there from Sydney Olympic. Possession. Northern Tigers retreating at the moment. Polias. Fong Song Kam in. Field it was there for Hawkesby. Just couldn't get the direction on it for it, but nice passage of play for Sydney Olympic. Yadam fighting on the right-hand flank there with Wilson. Still going. Yadam gets the ball inside, but Eliza Campbell once again straight to her and looks to distribute quickly now and does so to Hannah McNulty. Her ball in field goes astray. Long ball forward now for Hannah McNulty. Emily Koss on the far side there, gets there first. Gives it back to Wyman. Just over 10 minutes played here at Jensen Park. Still 0-0 between Northern Tigers and Sydney Olympic. Wilcox is calling this one for you today. It's the National Premier League Women's New South Wales Preliminary Final. Last chance for these two sides to make it into next week's big dance against Sydney University. Quite a windy afternoon in Sydney. All things considered, very good crowd on hand here at Jensen Park today. Olympic with a throw. Watkins Ball over the top. Looks to have a shot at top bins there. Jada Wyman had all angles covered. You can see the ball held up in the wind there. Elias, Yadam, Hong Song Cam just can't get that first touch under control. It's Northern Tigers now. McNulty inside for Arrowsmith. Heavy first touch, concedes possession to Olympic. Koss plays it off McNulty there. Needs a throw on the far side. Of course, a festival of women's football next Sunday at Valentine Sports Park. Both the NPL women's and the NPL 2 women's grand finals. Starting with the 14s, then the 15s, 17s, reserve grade and first grade. So 10 quality games next week. So make sure all your family and friends get out and support the women. Frampton just touches it down the line. Comes off Watkins last, so Olympic with a throw on the halfway line. Frampton takes it. Petrados. Yadam takes it quickly. Looking for Petrados. Ellie Brush just watches it. Go out for a goal kick to the Tigers. Campbell takes it short. Long ball forward by Unzala. Olympic just playing with it at the back at the moment. Polias. Hawkesby gets there first. Loses out though. Fringes in the centre of the park. On Matty Bart. So now it's Northern Tigers' chance to put some pressure on Olympic's defence. Will be the captain, Unzala. Will step up and take this set piece, as she does all set pieces for the Tigers. Long ball forward, holds up in the wind. Northern Tigers with a corner on the far side. Good header there by Polias. Ball into the box, looking for the header there, gets there. And it was the 10 of Malia Steinmetz, straight at Wyman. Long ball forward by Yatum, looking for Fong Song Cam. Polias looking to win the ball in the centre of the park. Brush is taken down, looks to take it quickly. Even if it was allowed, she can't play it to herself. Referee just tells Sarah Yatum what she picked her up for. Tigers now through Wilson, cutting inside the 18-yard box, looks to square it up for Arrowsmith. Get away there by Christodoulou for Olympic. Brush. Straight down the field to Wyman. Of course, playing out from the back today will be difficult in these windy conditions. It's a side that adapts the best. Oh, beautiful distribution there from Wyman. Finding Yatem down the line for Petrados. And again, Brush just watches it go out for Northern Tigers. Just over 16 minutes played here at Jensen Park. Still 0-0 between Northern Tigers and Sydney Olympic. You're watching the National Premier League Women's New South Wales preliminary final. Of course, the last chance for both sides to make next week's grand final and take on Sydney University. Emma Watkins there just getting a compass wrong. She looked to get the ball forward for Arrowsmith. Koss. Polias. She looks to switch the play. Alaska. Frampton down the line for Yadam. It's a match race now. Her and Wilson. 1v1. Cuts in field. Frampton. Polias looks to switch it. Frampton reads it well, gets there first for Sydney Olympic. Has Yadam to her right, that's where she goes. And can measure across up here, Sarah Yadam. Far post, ball in, looking for the header. Down, Petrados. Just can't get under control at the second offing. Head down there by Plessis. Wasn't an inviting one for her. Again, Arrowsmith isolated up top. Makes it easy for Olympic to play out from the back. Yadam. Just miscommunication there between her and Frampton. Christodoulou now. Again, not much in the offing. Forward, so plays it back to Wyman. Tigers happy not to press at the moment, just allow Olympic to play with it in that back third. Hawkesby, switch to Polias. Plessis, overlapping his Koss. Can she go there? She certainly does. Emily Koss, reading it well there. The captain, of course, Server Unzala for Northern Tigers. And a throw on the far side. Some nice play there between Plessis and Koss. Overlapping run. Trying to open Northern Tigers up at the back. It's Phillips now. Can run at Frampton. Still going. Phillips. Inside the 18-yard box looking for some support. Has McNulty in there. Can't get the ball to her. Wilson. Watkins gets dispossessed by Mackenzie Hawkesby. She can run at the defence now. Mackenzie Hawkesby needs some support in the middle. Tries to slide it in behind for Petrados. Cleared away there by Northern Tigers. Brush. Bart. Again. Front third, the communication breaking down for Northern Tigers. So very near though, moments earlier for Sydney Olympic. Frampton. Yadam can't keep it in. Wilson with the throw. But there. Can't get there first for the Tigers. Hawkesby. Fong Song Cam. Koss. Winning in the centre of the park was Daisy Arrowsmith for the Northern Tigers. Steinmetz. Zunla. Arrowsmith. Needs some support though. Zunla. McNulty. To get the ball inside for Phillips. Well read there by Olympic. It was Christodoulou for Olympic. Falletta got it just down the line. Zunla in behind for Arrowsmith, just marginally offside there. Daisy Arrowsmith. I need to watch their line there, Olympic. Wasn't too much in it. Good communication by the back four, though, for the Blues. Fong Song Cam. Susan's away. Fong Song Cam looks to have a shot. Tries a delicate ball in behind. It was for Plessis. Really needed to pull the trigger there. Susan Fong Song Cam. We know what a wonderful striker of the ball she is. 20 goals this year. A brilliant return for the 18-year-old W League player. Of course, for the Western Sydney Wanderers. To recall seeing her a couple of years ago. I was working on the radio calling her in one of the W League games. Hard to imagine. She's still only 18. Wonderful talent in Australian football. Watkins. Brush. Goes down. Play on. And it's Wilson. Looks to slide it in behind for Phillips. Wyman quick off the line. As always. Midway through this first half. Still 0-0 between Northern Tigers and Sydney Olympic. Will Gotsis calling the action for you today. This preliminary final in the National Premier League Women's New South Wales competition. Has been a good battle through this first half. Christodoulou. Wyman under pressure there. Gets it forward looking for Yedem. So Yedem wins it there now. Hawkesby. Plessis. Turned over in the centre of the park. This time looking to slide it in behind for Bart. Bart gets there though, wins it. Cost with the interception. Hawkesby just goes back to Polias. Plessis. Christodoulou now has Cost to a left. Goes back to Plessis. Northern Tigers happy to just watch Olympic with the ball. And it's Polias now. Intercepted. Olympic with another goal kick. Of course, last week's results, as we know. Sydney University defeating Northern Tigers by 2-0. Alex Epakis' side went straight through to the grand final. Sydney Olympic had to overcome Illawarra Stingrays. Did so by 2-1. Converting two of their 3 penalties last week. To set up this contest today, the 4th meeting of these two sides this year. Of course, week 1 of the finals. So Northern Tigers defeat Olympic by 1-0. A free kick in the centre of the park to Olympic. Foul there on Fong Song Cam. Christodoulou steps up. Hawkesby. Fong Song Cam. Petrados, the switch. Finding Yadam. Sarah Yadam beats one. Ball across. Face ball across. And Sarah Fong Song Cam just can't get there on the far post. Did take a touch from Eliza Campbell though. Pressure still on for Northern Tigers. And it will be Georgia Plessis on the far side to take it for the Blues. Plessis with a delivery in. Looking for Frampton. Headed away by Tigers. Only as far as Hawkesby. They can recycle possession. Once again. The ball into the mixer. Zunla getting there first. referee just checks the ball. That one looks like it's down a couple of PSIs. So we'll use the other ball on the sideline. But Christodoulou. Nice ball over the top, looking for Emily Koss. Getting there first though. Here's Wilson. Lazy pass in the centre there by Petrados allows Northern Tigers now an opportunity to move forward. Once again, it's Amy Phillips. Plays the 1-2. Still going. Amy Phillips. Tracking across, doing her share of defensive duties there was Paniota Petrados. Lynn seems to have certainly picked up here. Steinmetz. Switch to Wilson. JC Wilson keeps it in. Doesn't get that cross quite right. There's Fong Song Cam under pressure now by Zunla. Crowd asking, is there a yellow in the offering? Zunla, of course, with a wonderful career. 9 championships, W Leagues with CFC as they turn it away. And it's Daisy Arrowsmith, 1-on-1 with Wyman. The block save and the second offer there by Jada Wyman. Well, Olympic getting caught out there. Almost made to be punished by Daisy Arrowsmith. They live to fight another day. And George Beltos would have been beside himself there. Wyman coming quick off the line though. Cutting down the angle, certainly making it a lot more difficult for Arrowsmith. Fong Song Cam. Looks to get past Brush. Has the Adam in support. Still going, Susan Fong Song Cam. Onto a ride inside the 18-yard box. Good show of strength there from young Susan. Wins the corner for Olympic. As we approach the half an hour mark here at Jensen Park. Still 0-0. But is there a goal before half time? Break the backs of one of these teams. An all-important first goal today, one must say. Plessis with a delivery this time. Once again into the box. The header. Straight into the arms of Eliza Campbell. Well, some ominous moments defensively there for Northern Tigers, but when you've got a Matilda goalkeeper and Eliza Campbell in goals, certainly hard to break down. Alaska doing well defensively. As Petrados just holds up play momentarily. Brush goes infield looking for Bart. Foul there on Polias. Was Watkins who gave up that foul. Christodoulou now. Shifts it across to the left, finding Koss. Hawksby's there. You see a switch now from George Beltos in that front third for Olympic. Sarah Adams moved across to the left. George is Plessis has come across to the right just to switch things up in this final quarter of an hour in the first half. Polias, Fong Song Cam, twisting and turning. Goes back to where it came from. Shot there from Yadam, the block. Great show of strength by Sarah Yadam it was. Frampton. Plessis. Alaska shifts it across. Chris Adulu. She has Koss hugging the touchline. To her left, goes infield. Michaela Hawkesby almost loses possession there. Does recycle nicely for Petrados. Can find Plessis. Onto her left. Georgia Plessis has a shot. Brush with a header. Finally cleared away unconventionally by Watkins. The second ball, though, falls nicely for Olympic as Hawkesby looks to slide it in behind for Fong Song Cam. Ball forward there for Daisy Arrowsmith. She may have been offside, and I'd say that's probably why I didn't see the concerted effort from her. Frampton infield, hence possession over to Bart. She looks up now. Well read there by Polias. Captain Courageous week in, week out from the Warrior for Olympic. Frampton. Can't find her mark in Plessis. Unzela. Arrowsmith coming back. Get involved for the Tigers. The 1-2 there. McNulty working well with Steinmetz. Into the corner it goes. Great show of strength from Emily Koss in that far side. Again wins possession back for her side. And another goal kick to Olympic. Just over 33 and a half played in this first half. Still 0-0 between Northern Tigers and Sydney Olympic. You're watching the preliminary final of the NPL Women's New South Wales competition through the Facebook and YouTube streams. Welcome aboard to all of you today. Don't forget to share the stream around. Such a wonderful competition. The NPL Women's is in New South Wales. Plenty of Matildas, WLE players, junior Matildas on show week in, week out. It's great that we get to see them on a weekly basis, live stream to you. Alaska tries to dink it in behind for Yadam. Again, we see them swap. Plessis and Yadam up top on the flanks. Fong Song Cam, great first touch there by Susan Fong Song Cam. Can't beat Isabella Folletta though. It's just Frampton. Trots across. Takes it. Trados just loses out possession there. And Frampton wins it back for her side. Well, George Beltsos will be happy with that from his number 2. Working hard to wrestle back possession. Have found it hard getting out of there. Half in the first half, Northern Tigers. You know, the quality that they do possess, though. Spart just once again hands possession over to Alaska. Christodulu now. She can work it in towards the halfway line. Bart wins it nicely. Once again, the long ball forward. Asking Daisy Arrowsmith a little too much to do there. Polias. Under pressure now. Looking for Frampton. Folletta down the line. For Phillips. Alaska concedes the throw. Folletta once again for Northern Tigers. Can they mount some pressure on Olympic defensively? as they look to pin them in. Folletta for Arrowsmith, heads it down. Brush. Plays it off. Yadam. And Fonsong Cam. Was a match race there, but the experience of Uzunla. And the free kick. Just see Ellie Brush get up gingerly. Of course, Ellie Brush is a big key and cog in Jason Egar's lineup in that central defence. Of course, also the Western Sydney Wanderer, and doubles up in the AFL for GWS Giants. Such an amazing athlete is Ellie Brush. Bart there, wins the header. Tries to play it off Alaska, can't do so. The Olympic can break now. Through Plessis. Cuts inside. Looking for support. Needs Cost to make that run in behind. Alaska. Yadam. Polias. Needs some movement there in that middle third for Olympic. Northern Tigers just holding their lines quite well at the moment. Nice ball there. Played in behind by Petrados. Almost played Yadam in behind. Arrowsmith. Wilson. Long ball forward. Again, no one in position. Ball just runs away in this wind. Really need the short, sharp passes to unlock the sides today. Not really putting Olympics defence under pressure with that long ball forward. Especially with Northern Tigers not playing that high line throughout this first half. Steinmetz. Watkins. Folletta. Can run it. Frampton now slides it in behind. Getting there first is Phillips. Great defence there by Halaska for Olympic. Yadam. Polias. As they look to switch the play now once again. Watkins plays it back to Brush. Folletta. First time down the line for Phillips. And Amy Phillips with a beautiful back heel there for Isabella Folletta. Sarah Adam holds her up momentarily. Alaska gets a foot to it. Krista Dulu, safety first for Olympic. Concedes the throw. As we hit the 40-minute mark here at Jensen Park, still no score between these two sides. All important. Grand final spot up today in the offering. Fong Song Cam looks to run at Brush and put some pressure on her. Ellie Brush skews her first time clearance there. So falls nicely now for Polias. Petrados. Panayota there. Looks to get around. Watkins does well, wins the corner. Another opportunity now as we approach half-time for Olympic. Put some pressure on this Northern Tigers defence with another set piece. As Georgia Plessis makes her way across to once again take this for the Blues. Krista Dulu's up there in the box along with Koss. And the ball goes into the mixer there. Cleared away by the Tigers. And it's Arrow Smith now. Has to run at Frampton. Holds it up, does well for McNulty. Needs some support on the far side. Emily Koss, good tackle. Has been strong in that left back position in his first half today for Olympic. Mr. Dulu once again just shepherds it out. Just on 3 minutes left in his first half plus change. Can we see the deadlock broken? Approaching half time. Well won there by Polias. And Fong Song Cam now has Plessis to her right. That's where she goes. Coming across quickly though, Folletta for Northern Tigers. Strong there, Isabella Folletta. Frampton. Plessis. Delightful ball in up towards the 18-yard box. Olympic still with a lion's share of possession. Hasn't amounted to goals though, just yet. Koss. Hawksby. Petrados. Shot from distance. Can she beat Campbell? No, she can't. Eliza Campbell, one-hander, had to tip it over. All the experience and guile there from the custodian. What a brilliant strike it was from Petrados. Plessis now. Just over a minute to go in this first half. Can Olympic break the deadlock? Georgia Plessis with a delivery in. Looking for the header of Angie Christodoulou there. Straight to Campbell it was. Fong Song Cam almost sneaks that one there. The last second. Wyman. You can see the wind here, strong headwind. Olympic, of course, running into it in the first half. Will make it much easier for them in the second half. Christodoulou plays it short to Polias. A little over 20 seconds left in this first half, plus any time added on. Zunla. The shift is on. Overlapping to the left. Folletta. Yadam doing well. So we're now into time added on in his first half. Game that we haven't seen too many chances, but Paniota Petrados almost moments earlier, opening the scoring for Olympic with a thunderbolt strike. Only to be tipped over by Eliza Campbell. Wilson. Christodoulou. Petrados. Koss. Is there one last chance for either side? Petrados gets it back to Halaska, and that's all we'll see in this first half here at Jensen Park in the National Premier League Women's New South Wales preliminary final. It's a stalemate as we take a break. 0-0 between Northern Tigers and Sydney Olympic. We'll have a short break and come back for the second half A fantastic game in the offering. All to play for in the second half. A grand final berth up against Sydney University next week. Who will make it through? We'll find out in about 15 minutes' time when we come back for more action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jensen Park for the commencement of the second half. Big 45 minutes coming up for both sides. Can either side claim this game and the last spot in the grand final in regulation? Well, we see extra time between these two sides played today. Enthralling first half, tight contest as we come to expect between these two sides. Not a lot by way of chances. Olympic will have the breeze at their backs in the second half. So they'll be running from right to left on your screen. For those of you just joining the call, Northern Tigers will be running from left to right. They will be kicking off the second half with Matty Bart to do so for Jason Eager's team. As you see, kick off to the second half now. In first possession, Mr. McNulty. Emily Koss, though, just the first clearance. Wilson with the throw. Arrowsmith, McNulty. Plyce working hard in there, but McNulty once again with the ball. Bart looks to slide it in behind. Emily Koss for Olympic can clear it down towards Susan Fongsong Cam. Plays it short to Plessis. Hawkesby to Polias. Frampton. She had a great first half for Olympic. Very strong defensively for them on that right-hand side. As it's Georgia Plessis now for Olympic. Can slide in behind for Susan Fongsong Cam. Just offside there. Some nice enterprising play from Sydney Olympic to start the second half. Almost unlocking Northern Tigers defensively. But it wasn't to be. Campbell. Watkins. For Bart. Folletta strong. Does lose out possession though. It's Olympic now through Petrados. Ball falls nicely to Plessis. Has a shot. The spill there by Campbell. Gets it at the second attempt. Eliza Campbell. We're only into the second minute already. Olympic looking strong in the second half. Of course, have that big breeze behind their backs. Should make things a lot more easier for them. This time, it's Olympic through Plessis. Fongsong Cam under heavy pressure there, still going. Susan Fongsong Cam up towards the 18-yard box. First thing turn, shoots there, gets the block. And the clearance away by Northern Tigers. And they can play out now. Again, losing possession centre of the park. It's Paniota Petrados for Plessis. Onto her right. Strong challenge there. It was Amy Phillips with the tackle. Folletta. Koss fighting there. Still going. Emily Koss wins it for Olympic. Fongsong Cam turns. Already heavy pressure from Olympic early on. Fongsong Cam. Polias with a switch. First time ball. Lovely ball out wide. Frampton overlapping. Goes in field. Looking for Hawkesby. Gets inside the 18-yard box. Hawkesby with a shot. The block there by Campbell. Again the follow-up shot by Petrados. And somehow it falls into the hands of Eliza Campbell for Northern Tigers. Well, certainly came out in the second half, Sydney Olympic, and made their intentions known to all. Bart. Steinmetz. Again, they lose possession in the centre of the park. Azunla, this time dispossessed. And it's Plessis. Inside for Fong Song Ken, just overhits that ball in. Fans are on their toes here at Jensen Park. And feet. If you can feel your toes, that is. Quite windy conditions in Sydney today. 2021, but probably feels more like 15 out there. Heavy winds. Steinmetz. Bart. Plays a 1-2 Steinmetz. This time it's Frampton who wins it for Olympic. Polias. Petrados for Plessis. Tries to get to the outside of Wilson. Still going. Georgia Plessis needs support. Finally cleared away. By the Tigers as we see Jason Eager giving some instructions on the sideline. We may see a substitution shortly. Rush. Brush again. 1-2 there with Campbell. Players moving all over. It's in behind there for Folletta. Good run down the left flank. Just taking her time getting up after that collision. Just players around there checking on her welfare. Isabella Folletta it is. And she may be in doubt to continue on in this one. Does look like a lower leg injury from where we are. Maybe an ankle. Don't forget next week, the National Premier League Women's New South Wales Grand Final Day next Sunday at Valentine Sports Park. Will be dubbed Female Football Finals Day. Of course, the NPL Women's and NPL 2 Women's 10 games. Of course, free entry to all next week, starting from the 14s all the way through to first grade. Sydney University, of course, will be looking to turn defeat into victory this year. Alexa Parkas's women's side, the first side through. Of course, last year we saw Sydney Olympic defeat Apia in the NPL 2 Grand Final on penalties. Will they feature once again on Grand Final Day, or will it be Northern Tigers? Have been so strong once again in 2019, as we see Isabella Folletta just go off on the far side to get some treatment. Hope that she's okay to continue. Certainly coaches don't like forced substitutions. Will be Uzunla. Uzunla will be taking this free kick, as she always does for Tigers. Ball forward, looking to catch Wyman. Off her line, Jada Wyman there. Scrambling, but in the end, just held up enough in the wind to go over the crossbar. Nice ball there by Plessis for Koss. Wilson puts it out. Koss. Polias. Jess Frampton was calling for the switch, but a little dangerous in these conditions. This time it'll be Halaska who gets it across to Frampton. Eight and a half minutes gone in this second half, still 0-0. Northern Tigers and Sydney Olympic. McNulty. Overlapping run this time is Wilson. Can't get there first though. Christodoulou goes down, wins a free kick for Sydney Olympic. You're watching the National Premier League Women's New South Wales preliminary final today here at Jensen Park. Will Gotza's calling it for you. Welcome to you all. Those of you that are watching through the NPL New South Wales Facebook page as well as the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Glad to have you on board. McNulty there, just cut out by Christodoulou. Hong Song Cam under traffic. Zunla wins it for the Tigers. And it's McNulty now, measures it into the 18-yard box. Cleared away by Frampton. Hong Song Cam can turn now, has space, looks to slide it in behind and onside. It's Plessis. As Eliza Campbell just shepherds it out for a goal kick. You see players starting to warm up. Certainly need to be warm when you get onto the field today in these conditions. Good crowd in, braving the elements here at Jensen Park, Regents Park it is. Folletta, good to see her moving freely after that injury. Timeout moments earlier. Yadam under pressure from Brush. Frampton can't keep it in on the far side. Phillips slides it in behind. Too much heat on that one for Daisy Arrowsmith. Will make Wyman pick it up though. Polias. Northern Tigers pressing a little higher than they did in that first half to start this second. Tough conditions. McNulty gets around Koss. Arrowsmith. That was McNulty there, off the crossbar, the follow-up shot, and it goes in to Amy Phillips. And the first goal of the preliminary final goes to Northern Tigers. 11 and a half minutes gone in this second half. And Jason Egar's side take the lead 1-0 over Sydney Olympic. Well, beautiful run down the right-hand side it was by McNulty. Off the crossbar. And the follow-up shot from close range. She couldn't miss Amy Phillips. That's her third goal of the season. And what a time it is for her side to put them in the driver's seat. Of course, we know Olympic have so much power in that front third. Plenty of football left in this one. Ball's turned over in the centre of the park, and there's Petrados looking to find Fong Song Cam. Folletta lays it back to Brush. Goal scorer Phillips cuts in field. Fong Song Cam there, just flagged for offside, coming back from an offside position. All fairness, she'd run a good 7 or 8 metres to get that ball. Uzunla gets it forward, headed down by Frampton. Hawksby in field. The check there, play on, says the referee. Oh, she was away. Susan Fong Song Cam, no advantage played. The skipper there, Polias, in a bit of discomfort. May well have blown her whistle a moment too early there. Susan Fongsong Cam through. Another opportunity for Olympic through this set piece now. Looking for Plessis. Headed away by Wilson. Only as far as Koss. Ball forward for Fongsong Cam. This time it's cleared away by Uzunla. Olympic once again win possession in the centre of the field. Koss. Polias with a turn. Bart just gets a foot in there and wins it for Northern Tigers. Steinmetz. Olympic Plessis infield for Hawkesby. Fongsong Cam, and again she's flagged offside. Well, some tight margins there. Playing a dangerous line though, Northern Tigers. Especially with the speed that they're having that top third Sydney Olympic. Petrados manages to win the throw there for Olympic. Emily Koss to take it. Down the line she goes. Josie Wilson makes sure of it. As Olympic edge their way into Northern Tigers half. Koss. Good skill there from Plessis. Looks to switch the play. Cut out by Phillips, and it's Isabella Folletta now. Finding Phillips on the overlapping run. Now she gets towards the 18-yard box. Faced by Alaska. Folletta down. Somehow it's play on. And Susan Fongsong Cam can turn it defence into attack. Taken down, free kick, Sydney Olympic. Well, Emma Watkins there said, who, me, but certainly guilty that time. The number 13 for Northern Tigers. Bart looks to slide it in behind. For her number 9 in Arrow Smith, can't do so. Still has the ball though. Arrow Smith, Polias. Timely interception there for Sydney Olympic, and it's Plessis now. Plessis cuts in field. Uzunla gets there first. As she does most of the times. Wonderful player and servant to the game she's been for many years now. Frampton holding it up. Looking for the free kick. Gets the throw. Yadam fighting hard. Referee just signals a stoppage. Good to go. Was Phillips on the far side. We'll just see how she goes in the next few moments. As the Olympic fans try and get behind their side, get them back into this contest. 17.5 minutes gone in the second half. An audacious attempt there from Polias. Almost coming off. Sigh of relief to Eliza Campbell and her goal. Got us calling this game for you today. Warming the seat for Nicola Posda, who can't make it but be behind the mic on grand final day. Doubling up this year as the men's reporter as well. What a wonderful job he has done in 2019. Covering this great competition. George Beltsos just getting a couple of his substitutions to warm up at the moment. So look for some change if we can't see anything in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Petrados. Fong Song Cam. Double teamed. Gets into the corner. Into the byline now. Can she cut it back? Looking for the square ball in. Teresa Polias just getting there a little too late for Olympic. Gotta expect the unexpected from Susan Fong Song Cam. As Olympic almost turned it over. Emily Koss now for Polias. Under pressure from Watkins. The switch of play this time by Halaska. Finding Hawkesby. Here she is. Mackenzie Hawkesby. Infield. Georgia Plessis can keep it in for Olympic. Measures it in. And Uzunla there just concedes the corner to Olympic. Here's the 15 of Josie Wilson, who is down. Looks like just suffering from some camps at the moment. As we have a break in play, just a reminder, next week female football finals fever hits Valentine Sports Park for the NPL 1 and NPL 2 Women's Finals Day. 10 grand finals in all across both competitions. So make sure you get out there. So many W League players, current ex-Matilda players within the NPL competition. Also the young Matildas making their way through the grades. Some fabulous talent. Get out and support the girls next week. Of course, free entry to Valentine Sports Park. We may see the first substitution coming up. Let's just wait for a moment. Keep an eye on Josie Wilson. Plessis with the ball in, looking for the header. Koss gets there with a shot. The clearance away by Northern Tigers. Petrados. Back to Halaska. The switch to Polias. Hawkesby gets pickpocketed there by Steinmetz. And almost away to the races was Daisy Arrowsmith, but Jada Wyman quick off a line to make sure. Keep possession for Olympic. JC Wilson just runs back onto the field, so back to a full 11. Jason Eager's women side at the moment. Free kick to Northern Tigers, just inside Sydney Olympic half. See, pretty much the entire Northern Tigers bench warming up at the moment. Need to stay warm and ready to go at any time as we approach the midway part of the second half here at Jensen. Still Northern Tigers leading by a goal to nil. Can they double their lead now? Phillips, faced by Frampton. The back heel. Uzunla goes down, wins the free kick. Just to the side of the 18-yard box there. Dangerous position for Sydney Olympic to defend. As you see the skipper slowly make her way to her feet. And this time, Servet Uzunla will leave it for Hannah McNulty to swing it in. As the referee gets the ball back the standard 10 yards. Happy with that now. McNulty for the Tigers. The ball in, near post ball, and it finds its way in the back of the goal. Well, it doesn't look like it got a touch there. May have gone straight in there from Hannah McNulty. And Amy Phillips almost on the end of it. But it does look like it'll be Hannah McNulty credited with the second goal for Northern Tigers. And they take a 2-0 lead here at Jensen Park. Massive goal, that one there. Uzunla normally takes the free kicks, left it for Hannah McNulty. And she delivered it straight into the back of the Olympic goal to double the lead for the Tigers. Olympic will have to throw a lot forward in this final 20-odd minutes if they had to get something out of this contest. Wilson. McNulty, the goal scorer. Arrow Smith. Ball forward. Falls nicely for Olympic. Ball in behind. Looking for Fong Song Cam. By Sarah Adam. A little too much heat on it. That was Hannah's 5th goal of the year, so none better than to score in a prelim final. Give your side that 2-goal buffer. But of course, we know the potency that Olympic in that front third possess. Great skill there by Uzunla. Christodoulou just does enough, but it's Northern Tigers now have a spring in their step at the moment. Christodoulou there, just running out of space. As we will see the first substitution of the afternoon. Does look like it'll be Beth Bernardi coming on for Jason Eager. He's just limbering up now, final stretches. Referee just checking on Christodoulou. She's okay. Hong Song Cam almost catching out Campbell. Polias working hard once again. Christodoulou, the 1-2 with Polias. No advantage. Free kick just inside Northern Tigers territory. Christodoulou. McNulty gets it back inside for Maddie Bart. Emma Watkins now for the Tigers. Finds Arrowsmith to her right. As she continues on into the box. The block there by Emily Koss, and it will be a Northern Tigers corner. We're about to see the first substitution of the day. No, we aren't. .27.5 minutes gone in the second half. For those of you just joining us, Northern Tigers 2, leading Sydney Olympic 0. Northern Tigers with a great opportunity to find their third. McNulty ball in, looking for the header. Finds it there. Straight to Wyman though. Malia Steinmetz there working hard for the Tigers. We will see the first substitution for Northern Tigers. And it will be Hannah McNulty, the scorer of the second goal, coming off. And Beth Bernardi making way onto the field for her. Hawkesby. Wilson. Steinmetz. Playing the triangle whirl at the moment there. Trying to play out of dangerous position. Could turn the ball over on the halfway and just in moments in transition can concede. Wilson. Arrow Smith with the head forward. Looking for the substitution there in Bernardi. Watkins strong. Olympic with the throw though. Just over 15 minutes to play here at Jensen Park. Will it be Northern Tigers taking on Sydney University next week in the grand final? Olympic create a grandstand finish for us here tonight. Bart plays it off. Halaska wins the throw. Once again, Josie Wilson with the throw. Looking for Arrow Smith. Halaska. The shot rather ambitious there from Emma Watkins. Allows Olympic now to turn defence into attack through Frampton. Yadam goes down on the far side, play on. Fong Song Cam comes back to help out defensive duties. Win it back for Olympic. I'm sure the Sydney University girls watching this one today would have hoped that it would have gone to extra time and may well still. At the moment, it's Northern Tigers who hold all the cards, leading 2-0. Koss just corrals it down the line. Little over 13 minutes left in this one. Northern Tigers 2. Courtesy of goals to Phillips and McNulty. Leading Sydney Olympic 0. Of course, Amy Phillips. First goal was from a close range. McNulty hitting the crossbar, so it's good to see her get that second goal from the free kick, deceiving everyone. Emily Koss and Teresa Police there just asking the referee, how was that a free kick? Referee explaining to them what she saw. Of course, Northern Tigers not in any hurry to force the issue now. They are in the driving seat. Whilst Olympic look to move things on. Uzunla, ball into the box. The follow-up shot, and what a finish it was. Malia Steinmetz makes it 3-0. And that may have well sealed a grand final spot for Northern Tigers. A wonderful strike there from Malia Steinmetz. And it's Northern Tigers 3, leading Sydney Olympic 0. See substitution for Sydney Olympic. Georgia Plessis coming off for Sienna Fraser. And Northern Tigers now look like they are headed to next week's grand final. Of course, they did go down last week to Sydney Uni by 2-0. They have been the side to beat all year, Sydney University. But grand finals can bring out any result. They have taken their chances in the second half. Hawkesby. Christodoulou. Hong Song Cam. Back to Christodoulou. Going down. In the box was Petrados, but nothing in it. Koss. Polias. First touch. Gives it away to Bart. Arrowsmith. Just can't find the target in Bernardi there. Olympic. Yadam. Great challenge there from Ellie Brush. See another substitution for Northern Tigers. And it's going to be Emma Smith coming on. And it will be Josie Wilson, who sits the final 10 or so minutes out in this one. Petrados looking for Hong Song Cam. Uzunla there, all the experience in the world. Tough challenge there from Sienna Fraser on her. And will be Panayota Petrados coming off for Sydney Olympic, and coming on in her place is Danielle Calvi. It looks like she'll just slot up top for Olympic. Plies with the header. Fraser gets there first and wins the throw for Olympic. Little under 8 minutes to start. Finish this one, sorry. Phillips. Falletta infield. Looking for Bernardi. Olympic. Can they find consolation goal, or perhaps one that can get them back into the contest? Koss. A flick there from Calvi. Can't find its mark in Fraser. As Campbell gets the ball forward, looking for Bart. Christodoulou. Tries to feed it down the line for Hong Song Cam. The ball runs out of play just as Olympic are starting to run out of time, unfortunately for them and their fans. Whatever happens in these final few moments, it has been a fantastic season for them. Finishing second in the season proper, coming up from NPL 2 last year. Really made a great fist of things in NPL 1 women's football this year, and the powerhouse that the club, Sydney Olympic, has been for many years. Good to see them back in the top flight in women's football. Koss takes it quickly, but just gets it forward. At the same time wins the throw. Arrowsmith for Bart. Plays it off Koss. Little over 6 minutes to play here at Jensen Park. Northern Tigers 3, leading Sydney Olympic 0. They certainly look like they are headed to next week's decider, the big dance, as it's been dubbed by many, against Sydney University. Can Olympic pinch one back though late on? Calvi there almost nicking it away. Some high press from Olympic and they get it back through. Danielle Calvi now looks to slide it for Polias. She tried to corral it into top bins. The captain, Teresa Polias, couldn't do so. Straight into the clutches of Eliza Campbell it went. Phillips, of course, the scorer of the first one today that opened the game up. Watkins just plays it down the line, happy to just send it forward. As does Jess Frampton. Just under 5 minutes left to play. Jensen Park in his National Premier League Women's New South Wales preliminary final. That's Northern Tigers 3. Leading Sydney Olympic Neil Wilgotsis calling it for you today. Nicola Posda will be back in the saddle next week on Grand Final Day. Has been a pleasure calling this one for you. Game that was very tight until that second goal really opened the game up for Northern Tigers. Uzunla there, all their skill and goal. Wins back possession. And it's Phillips now, Amy Phillips on the far side. Holding it up. As Folletta comes in to assist. Won't be too worried conceding throws as the time ticks down. It does appear as though Northern Tigers will defeat Olympic just as they did in week 1 of the finals. They have had 4 great battles this year. But in the end, the only one that really matters is the preliminary final. Ball in. Uzunla. Steinmetz leaves it. Steinmetz now. Holds it up. Uzunla just tries to dink it over the top. For Emma Smith. The 1-2. Still going Emma Smith. Plays it off Kate Halaska. And again the clock winds down. A little under 3 minutes. Plus time added on. See another substitution for Jason Eager. It will be Sophie de Montemis. Looks like she will be the person to come on. It's certainly in the bag, this one now, for Northern Tigers. Uzunla. Silky skills from the skipper. Still going down the line. Corrals it for Phillips. Just can't keep it in, Amy Phillips. And we will see another substitution for the Northern Tigers. See substitution, Susan Fonsong Cam coming off for Chiara de Domizio. And also coming on, Lauren Johnson for Sari Adam. So, some great seasons from the players departing for Sydney Olympic. And this time, Sophie de Montemis comes on for Isabella Folletta. Ball forward for the youngster, De Domizio. Lays it back for Hawkesby. As Frampton plays it back to Campbell. She won't, sorry. Jada Wyman won't be in any hurry to chase that one. Will be the Northern Tigers girls. Wuzunla will send this one into the stands. There's young Murray. He's waiting to come on for Northern Tigers. Throw in. Taken by Olympic Christodoulou for Hawkesby. Just plays it in behind Frampton. Has Phillips in front of us, so it goes wide. Christodoulou wins it back for Olympic. As we hit the 45-minute mark in the second half here at Jensen Park. Can Olympic conjure up a consolation? Polias. Played out by Dermontemis. Another substitution for Northern Tigers. Will be the youngster, Murray, to come on. And making way for her is Daisy Arrowsmith. Olympic with a throw. First time shot there from Hawkesby. Not the heat on it she perhaps hoped to get. Liza Campbell plays it out. Perhaps for the last time today. Bart. And it's the youngster now, Murray. In towards the 18-yard box. Murray looks to have a shot. Near post. Great save, Wyman. Young Murray there. Eyes lit up like a deer in headlights as she approached the 6-yard box. Outstanding keeper that is, Jada Wyman. Got down and covered that near post, conceding perhaps the last corner of the game to Northern Tigers. And it will be Amy Phillips to take it. Sorry, it's Maddie Steinmetz. Got that all askew, but Wyman, first time forward, tries to get Calvi involved in the action. Wuzunla. Koss. Down the line. Left by Steinmetz. But can't keep it in. Olympic once again go down the line. Once again, Northern Tigers happy to concede the throw. Bernardi that was. Almost approaching 3 minutes of time added on here at Jensen Park. And will be Northern Tigers who will advance to next week's grand final. Is there an opportunity now for Olympic to pull one back? Quick off a line though. The Matilda, Eliza Campbell. Looking to keep Olympic goalless today. The Tigers. Watkins there. Just happy to clear it forward once again. Brush. Plays it back to Campbell. She certainly makes no mistake in getting that one out of danger. Frampton fighting on their far side. With Sienna Fraser. As referee looks at her watch. Campbell. Pliers can't keep it in, but just leaves it. For De Montemis. Murray just can't get the direction on that header. It won't matter though. Cost down the line. The flick on by Polias. Dispossessed. Teresa Polias. Bernardi. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's full time. The referee has called an end to proceedings in this preliminary final of the National Premier League Women's New South Wales competition. And it will be Northern Tigers who take on Sydney University in the grand final next week at Valentine Sports Park. They have defeated Sydney Olympic by 3-0 today. The goal scorers for Northern Tigers, Amy Phillips with the first goal in the 57th minute. It was Hannah McNulty's turn in the 69th after being provided for that first goal. And in the 79th minute, an absolute rocket from Malia Steinmetz to make it 3-0. And that's how it would remain. So Northern Tigers to take on Sydney University next week in the grand final at Valentine Sports Park. To George Beltsos and his Sydney Olympic women, fabulous competition and run this year, coming up from NPL 2 last year, finishing second in the season proper and going out in third position in the finals. Plenty to build on for next year. Fabulous return to top flight football for Sydney Olympic. But in the end, it matters little. It will be Northern Tigers taking on Sydney University next week. Can Jason Egar's side pull off a surprise result? We know grand finals are there for the taking. Alex Parkas will have his side primed and ready for this one after beating them last week 2-0. Grand finals are different though. So next week we will see Sydney University taking on Northern Tigers and the NPL Women's New South Wales 1 competition. Will Gotts is calling the action for you today. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to check out all the highlights through the socials this week. Facebook, NPL New South Wales, as well as Football New South Wales YouTube. And next Sunday, Valentine Sports Park is a destination. Festivus of football, NPL 1 and NPL 2 women's action, starting with the under-14s, the 15s, the 17s, reserve grade, all the way through to first grade grand finals in the 1 and NPL 2 competitions. Make sure you get along, free admission. It's going to be a great afternoon of football. But for now, Northern Tigers 3 have defeated Sydney Olympic 0.